Howdy folks, I'm a crafty Canadian lynx, clumsily cartwheeling across crunchy cedar carpets.
I'm Amber.
And here are more cedar carpets for us to crunch across while cartwheeling straight into a Reddit story. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Other Men Buy My Girlfriend Flowers and She Keeps Them. A few weeks ago, flowers were sent to my girlfriend, a 27-year-old female, by someone who isn't me, a 26-year-old male. I'm pretty sure that they were sent by her most recent ex. The problem that I'm having here isn't that she's getting flowers sent to her, or that other men are interested in her. The problem is that she kept them and she's put them in the kitchen. I have to look every day at these flowers that another man sent to her, most likely her recent ex. When I asked her why she kept them, she said it's not the flowers' fault. But it still hurts me that she would be accepting of romantic gestures from other men while I'm in a relationship with her. I haven't brought this up to her and how it makes me feel, but I'm debating it. I surprise her with flowers and other gifts frequently. I really do love her, but I fear if I bring it up to her, she'll think that I'm being a jealous jerk. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, this one's a little complicated. I mean, my personal feeling is like it's not the flowers' fault, like I wouldn't want to throw out pretty flowers unless I felt like really off put by the person who sent them. I don't know what the right course of action is here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if this is something that bothers OP enough and he thinks that this is a deal breaker, then he can break up with his partner. If he can also talk to his partner and explain how they're feeling, a relationship, you should be able to express your feelings and kind of talk through things. If he's afraid that she'll react negatively to that, then maybe there's a problem with communication here. So I think that really there's a lot of issues that I'm seeing here involving communication, and that is a little concerning to me.
Yeah, well, it seems like he already has talked to her about it and she didn't like.
Well, he says, I haven't talked to her about how I feel yet. He's talked to her about
The
them.
flowers, but not about his feelings.
Yeah. So it sounds like he just kind of mentioned it, and she was like, "Oh, I like the flowers."
Like it's not their fault because that's because the way she worded it, it sounds like he conveyed something in his body language, if not outright said, to convey that he wasn't happy with this.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, I mean, I think what he said is, "Why are you keeping these?" Right? And she's like, it's not the flowers' fault that they were sent to me. I don't think he ever really expressed his feelings on it. And I haven't brought up to her how this makes me feel, but I'm debating it, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's the big issue here. OP wants to know, is it all right to talk to their partner about how they feel with these flowers? And I mean, I think the answer to that is you can always should always be able to talk to your partner about how something makes you feel. But OP also has to understand that how he is feeling isn't responsible. His girlfriend isn't responsible for how he's feeling.
Yeah,
and he needs to take responsibility for his own feelings.
Right, and to sort out whether this is really an issue that is worth having a big conversation over. Again, are there any other behaviors that, kind of upset him about his partner in relating to this? Are there any indications she's being too close to her ex, or is it literally just she got flowers this one time and kept them?
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is, like, she apparently has a very different philosophy than he does about these kinds of things, right? And he needs to, I think, examine why this bothers him so much, right? Is it that because, like, no matter what, the flowers were sent to her, right? The person who sent them has no idea whether she has them sitting on a counter or if she has them in the trash. So that's past at that point in time, right? And I think that that's really what this kind of boils down to. At that point in time, why does it hurt to have some nice flowers sitting out? And it isn't a waste to just toss perfectly good flowers.
Well, that's kind of my issue with it, is like, I feel like, well, I can't imagine why anyone would just randomly send me flowers. I might be creeped out and not keep them for that reason. But, if I had a good sense that someone, I knew who sent me the flowers and it wasn't someone who I felt threatened by, like, they're pretty flowers. I mean, I guess I've had neighbors leave flowers on the doorstep before, and I thought that was adorable. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I love this.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Strongarm 8734 says, are you so insecure that flowers sent anonymously is going to have her leave you? They were bought and sent, and why not use them to make the place look nice? You all don't know who sent them, so it's not like she can tell the person off. You're the jerk. And OP replies, normally no, but there is more trouble in the relationship than I can explain in the post. Since she received the flowers, she's been more distant. The question is she more distant because OP tried to talk her down from keeping them, or is she more distant because of something else?
Right, and this is where it's important for open and honest communication, but that might be a better thing to talk about the distance rather than focusing on the flowers, especially if he thinks the flowers bit is pushing her away.
Yeah, I mean, I think OP is looking at the wrong thing here, right? They just need to have better communication with their partner and explain how they're feeling. And Physical Pool says, yeah, no, I'm a 31-year-old heterosexual male living alone. Sometimes my mom sends me flowers. Flowers can come from anyone as a nice gesture. Maybe you're making a small thing into a big thing because there's a big thing that you're trying to avoid. And OP replies, the flowers were deliberately sent as a romantic gesture. And Physical Pool says, were they red roses? And OP replies, they were red roses.
My favorite flowers.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Telling My Ex's Wife to Mind Her Own Business when she confronted me in public over my ex's mom giving me a gift for my 30th birthday? I'm a 30-year-old female, and I celebrated my birthday recently, and my ex's mom stepped by to give me a very nice birthday gift. Ex and I have been divorced for 6 years, but we have 2 kids together, aged 11 and 9, so it was unexpected. I got along really well with his family when we were together, and we're still friendly when we see each other, but we were never very close. When my ex's mom showed up with the gift, she explained that she wished that we had stayed in touch more, and she wanted to honor the mother of her grandchildren, and she wanted to show appreciation for all I've done. It was a sweet thing, and we spoke for a little while after that. The gift was sentimental in nature, which made it extra special to me. It was a lovely gesture, and I've never expected it to cause any trouble at all, but it did with my ex's wife. She confronted me in Target a week ago and started cursing and yelling at me for intruding in my ex's family. She told me the only reason my ex's mom would get me a gift is because I'm trying to keep my claws in the ex's family instead of accepting that I'm an ex. She demanded that I give the gift to her or return it to the ex's mom and refused to accept anything else in the future. I told her to leave me alone and I walked away. She approached me yet again as I was heading out to pay. I tried to go around her, but she put her hand on the cart and told me that I wasn't walking away from her and I would stop being so meddlesome and stop trying to push her out of the family. She told me that I was nasty to accept the gift from the ex's mom and I had no business allowing something like that. I interrupted her when she started to attract some attention and I told her to mind her own business and to stay away from me because we have no reason to talk. I paid for my stuff and I left before she could confront me again. The encounter made me mad, but I was going to go let it go. But then X started texting me later in the week and told me that he needed to apologize to his wife because she's the stepmom to our kids and I shouldn't be treating her that way. I replied that I did not appreciate her behavior towards me in public and that I would not be replying any further. He just told me that I needed to apologize and that I was out of order treating her like she was wrong to have her own feelings on this. He said that I had damaged the co-parenting relationship between myself and them. I know I could have ignored her, but I know apologizing won't fix anything because I still have and I wear the gift, which was a mother charm bracelet. Ex's wife will insist that I need to return or dispose of it and let this go. And I don't think that I'm in the wrong for accepting it. I can accept that I may have been wrong for speaking to her that way, though, so am I the jerk. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. When is she going to apologize for cornering you in Target and trying to force you to do something that you didn't want to do? Her behavior is completely out of line. There's nothing inappropriate about family maintaining relationships. Like your ex's mom recognized that you are the mother of her grandchildren and she wanted to do a nice gesture to acknowledge that.
Yep.
A bracelet saying mom is not like it's it's symbolic of that relationship. It's not like some kind of grand sweeping thing. Even if it was, like, that would be between OP and the mom and not the ex's wife. Like, she's inserting herself into this. My guess is that the family is missing OP because of the current wife is hard to deal with, but that's not your problem.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder why mother-in-law isn't getting along, it seems like, with this other woman. I think that OP's ex may not have the full story.
I was thinking that too, potentially, but the way he is like, well, she's allowed to have feelings about this. Like, either way, X may not have the full story. It might be worth clarifying with him,
Yeah.
but if he doesn't trust you as a source, if he trusts his wife, it might be worth letting it go. But definitely document his remarks about how this is hurting our co parenting relationship and whatnot.
So yeah, and again, the reason why I don't think that he knows the full story here is because he's making it sound like OP confronted her and told her that she couldn't have feelings, right? And I think that if OP explains that, I don't know why, say something to the effect of, I don't know why you think your wife stalking me through a store, yelling at me in public, and telling me to stay out of their life is an acceptable thing. If anyone damaged the co-parenting relationship, she did by being hostile and engaging me this way.
Yeah.
And I think like maybe he doesn't know that she's done something like this. And you're right, maybe he'll deny it and say that OP is lying, but the fact is that all OP can do is explain why she is the one who damaged the relationship, then that OP did not.
Yeah, well, it might be helpful too for documenting purposes, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever their custody agreement is. If he's and she are threatening to make things hostile,
Yeah.
that needs to be documented
Yeah.
for the court.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, she also did this in public at Target. So if she tries to deny it, there might be some way to request, footage of the incident or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there might be. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Due2G says, how is this any of your fault? X should speak with his wife and his mom if he wants to get to the root of this problem, not the jerk. And OP replies, clearly I'm supposed to reject anything from X's family, even conversation, because who knows how his wife would react to seeing us talk in any kind of friendly way in public. She might have an even bigger outburst. I think like she's coming from a place of hurt because it sounds like the family doesn't really accept her. And she's blaming OP for that because she's viewing OP as like the wedge that's pushing her out of this family. I'm not justifying her behavior here. I think that it just is showing that she's, taking this out on OP.
Yeah, well, and I think, it's a good thing to maintain a friendly relationship with the children's grandparents because they are an active part in their lives. And so I really think just cutting off communication with them would not be a good idea. The conversation did last for a while, but it sounds like they're back in communication now. I think just like throwing away the bracelet or being like, I can't take things from you, like that's going to damage the relationship between OP and the children's grandparents, and that might affect the relationship with the children.
Yeah.
So I think staying cordial and, expressing your appreciation are great things to do.
Yeah. And OP could even be like, you won't even believe what X's wife did to me.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you really want to be petty, you could, send ex-mother-in-law a text being like, thank you so much for the gift. I just wanted to apologize if I've caused any trouble in the family.
Beautiful.
Current wife has told me that I've hurt our relationship by keeping this, so I'm so, so sorry type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that might really do it. I think that would be really great. I recommend OP take that approach. And subject box says, you might as well unbirth his children while you're at it. She doesn't need that stress in her life. What does she expect you to do? Not have the children again? She doesn't know that he had a relationship before she married him. I understand that she's insecure, but her logic never entered into the picture. And OP replies, she maybe expected everyone to ignore me and act like I don't exist, but with kids in the picture, it was always going to be unrealistic. They could hate me, but that wouldn't be healthy for the kids. It's possible that there are bigger issues with her and X's family, and that's why. But that's between them and her and not me. I'm not part of it anymore. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for not telling my sister-in-law that she peed in the wrong body wash? I'm a 46-year-old female, and my husband, a 46-year-old male, had a falling out with her sister, a 40-year-old female, a few years ago. We had agreed to split the rent and bills during a tough time for both of us, and it imploded almost immediately due to 1, her refusal to respect communal furniture and spaces, and 2, her lying to us about the cost of bills to get us to pay a higher percentage than we agreed. My husband and I quickly moved out, and since she had never gotten around to adding us to the lease, she was stuck in the apartment until the lease ended. We have since moved out of state and bought a house. Fast forward to now. Sister-in-law called my husband to ask if she and her new boyfriend, a 35-year-old male, could stay with us on their way to a friend's wedding in our state. She said that she wanted to make amends and patch things up. I was skeptical, but I told my husband that he could decide and I would do my best to get along. Well, when they got here, she had brought along an additional friend, female's 30s, as well as her boyfriend. Fine, okay, rude, but whatever. I settled my sister-in-law and her boyfriend into the guest bedroom, and I made up the day bed in our gaming room for the extra friend. The friend asked if she could shower. I said yes and directed her to the bathroom. She grabbed her stuff and went in and showered. Well, the next morning we heard sister-in-law and her boyfriend go into the bathroom and start the shower. Then we heard giggling. When sister-in-law and her boyfriend came out, she looked smug and he looked subdued. Sister-in-law went to wake up her friend and they left to get iced coffees. The boyfriend immediately asked me to take him to the airport. I was confused, but I said sure. My husband was at work at this point and left while they were getting dressed. On the way to the airport, the boyfriend told me that he was done with sister-in-law, that she had peed in my body wash, shampoo, and conditioner while they were in the shower. Here's the kicker. I don't use body wash. I use soap that a friend of mine makes with goat milk because I have sensitive skin, and my husband uses it too. I also use bar shampoo and conditioner and a body balm bar, so none of the bottles in the shower were mine. They all were her extra friend stuff. I had moved mine and my husband's stuff into a smaller bathroom to make room for the guests. I said thank you for telling me, and I left it at that. I dropped him off at the airport. When I got home, sister-in-law and her friend were piled up on my couch with the coffee and breakfast watching Netflix. I said good morning, and I logged into my computer to play Diablo 4 for a little while. I said nothing. Neither sister-in-law nor her friend mentioned the missing boyfriend. Later that day, my husband texted me and asked if we would all like to go to dinner at our favorite sushi place. I told him that the boyfriend had left and gone home, but that I would ask sister-in-law and her friend. When he asked me why the boyfriend left, I told him that he should probably ask his sister. He said okay, and we all agreed to go out for sushi. I told sister-in-law and her friend that I was going to go take a shower, and the diabolical light in my sister-in-law's eyes told me all I needed to know. When I walked past the main bathroom and down the hall into the bathroom that had only a shower stall, sister-in-law looked frozen. All the way through dinner, she was nervous, and when her friend went to shower before bed, she looked panicked, but she didn't say anything. Oh, gross, nasty. Shrieks started coming from the bathroom minutes later. The friend came out wrapped in a towel, yelling that I was disgusting for peeing in her stuff, and that sister-in-law was right about what a bee I am, etc. My husband looked shocked. Sister-in-law started yelling about me and why I would do that. I calmly said that her boyfriend had told me that she had peed in my shower stuff, and that's why he was leaving. But since I don't have any shower stuff in that shower, I wasn't worried at all. I told the extra friend to text sister-in-law's boyfriend if she didn't believe me. Well, he confirmed. Now my sister-in-law and the rest of my husband's family are saying that I should have warned the extra friend. Am I the jerk? Update, this has blown up way more than I expected. I would like to address some of the more common responses. No, this isn't fake or a creative writing exercise. I'm a 46-year-old and I finished college in the spring of 2000. I write descriptively because that's how they teach us to write in public school, and I use paragraph breaks, good punctuation, and proper grammar for the same reason. My sister-in-law has been enabled by her family her whole life. Everything she does is either blamed on someone else or excused because she's on mental disability. Everyone is expected to coddle her and never confront her no matter what she says or does. My husband grew up in that environment and I hate that for him. Some additional details. Her, now ex-boyfriend, disclosed to my husband later that he was not allowed to leave the guest room after the shower until he promised not to tell, and also promised that he would stay with her for the trip and wouldn't tell anyone that they broke up until after the wedding. She took away his keys thinking that he wouldn't leave without them. As soon as she and her friend went to get some coffee, he asked me to drop him off at the airport. When it was the extra friend who found out that sister-in-law had peed in her stuff, she cried and asked to use my shower. I gave her some spare hotel bottles of toiletries that were in a basket in the guest room. Then she took her car. They both had ridden in an extra friend's car and left. Sister-in-law fake panicked attacked and said that her chest hurt. So my husband took her to the ER and dropped her off. Then he called his family to tell them what had happened and to tell them to come and get her. They drove 8 hours to do it, and that's when the attacks on me started. All right, folks, what do you think of this one?
I mean, I don't think necessarily OP's in the wrong. It might have been a courtesy to like give the friend a heads up, but then at the same time, it would have looked sus from OP. But I guess the boyfriend could have confirmed it. So, I don't know. I don't think OP was in the wrong, but I do think it also might have been nice to give a heads up.
I think OP was in the wrong. Here's why. The friend was an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
Right? The boyfriend told OP so that they could give this information to the appropriate parties. And maybe the friend could have texted her or something like that. The boyfriend could have texted her, right? So maybe it wasn't fully on OP to have this, responsibility. But I think that, again, like, it wasn't the friend who planned this, right?
Yeah.
It was the sister. And OP could have told the friend ahead of time and been like, hey, by the way, OP's, the boyfriend has told me that your friend here has peed in your stuff.
Yeah, well, it certainly would have been a kindness to do that for her. And she didn't deserve to get pee on her.
Yeah. And I mean, like, she would have been still mad because all of her stuff would have been ruined, right? But she wouldn't have been mad and peed on, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, certainly, like, I would be mad knowing that OP, didn't tell me this information, right?
For sure, yeah. I mean, obviously, sister-in-law isn't the wrong here, but it's also hard not to say that OP, erred in some way by not telling her.
Yeah. And so I just think I'm reluctant, but I think that OP could have done a better job here.
Yeah.
But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Plausible deniability.
Wheel really likes that one lately.
All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Clock 1. I love your new timepiece. Clock 2. Thanks. I got it secondhand.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
National Secondhand Wardrobe Week this week.
Oh, folks, make sure to find those secondhand clothes that you've got in your closet and wear them all together, all at once.
That might be a little much.
And I have Mega Mint. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a manic start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on jealousy.
It's important to keep your jealousy in check.
It is. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.